Well, Mr. Lawrence Stroll, I mean, this man's approximate, I think, regardless, I think he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. And to me, this is like one of those things where I guess money can't buy you everything because it cannot buy race, wins, reliability, and a car that definitely performs up to the level that I at least expected. I expected coming into 2022 to see Aston Martin make a nice leap forward, just as I anticipated at least, McLaren doing the same. And I think McLaren showed us a bit more in their previous season that would lead us to believe this season they should have done more. But I'll give everybody has the grading curve of the new platform and regulations, and mainly the car and ground effects being introduced to add to the challenges of getting these cars on point. But outside of that, Aston Martin's year 2021 really wasn't that damn great. I mean, it really wasn't that good. It really wasn't that good. I mean, they haven't had a podium since Baku, and that would have been 2021. I don't think they've had a podium. For sure they haven't had a podium this season, I don't believe. I don't recall Vettel ever being up there. I don't recall Lance Stroll ever being up there. And if I am, I'm mistaken. And if I am mistaken, it's because so much of the bullshit has clouded anything that might have been good with Aston Martin. I mean, they went from BWT being called the damn pink Mercedes to Aston Martin now being called the green Red Bull. And that ain't great. That ain't great, especially when it doesn't come with wins. It doesn't come with wins, and we expected it would. I don't even think they've had a good solid number two since, so like I said, Baku, which would have been Vettel, and then probably somewhere in the damn 1960s or some shit like that. I'm really just finding this very disappointing, especially when the cars launched. I saw Aston, I was like, that shit looks good. I think they're going to compete. They had one of the best car launches, at least in my opinion. And I know that doesn't like attribute to race wins, but I just felt that the energy and the momentum that I felt like McLaren was coming in, Aston was coming in. I felt these two teams were going to come in and like really show up to bring us that four-way fight, you know, if any, a 4 to 5-way fight at least. But I thought for sure we'd see a 4-way fight with Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren. And I was hoping that Aston Martin would be that dark horse in that top 5 order. And they just haven't been. I mean, Aston Martin is going out in Q qualifying sessions in the first one. In Q1, they're dropping off as a team. As a team, they are not doing well. Lance Stroll has been doing an abundant amount of, I'm not going to say abundant. He's had his incidences. Sebastian Vettel's found himself in pebbles. And, of course, he was sick the first few races of the season, which wasn't great for them. But they're not doing well. And then they go and they have this Red Bull clone, which I'm not going to say it's like literally a clone, but there's so many similarities in their design where everybody questioned, even myself, did they literally copy the Red Bull car aside from the floors and the performance, because it hasn't been there. I don't really know what the hell Aston Martin has to do. I don't even know if Aston Martin even going to be a thing by 2026, or is Aston Martin up for sale? That's what I want to know. With the fact that we have other brands coming into Formula One, is Aston Martin one of the teams that is going to be up for buying? If this is what it's going to, I don't see Aston Martin wanting to attach their name to this. All right. It's not like Alpine. Alpine is a car manufacturer, but we don't think about Alpine like we think about Aston Martin. We don't think about Alpine like we think about McLaren. We damn sure don't think about Alpine like we think about fucking Mercedes and Ferrari. We don't. So for me to see what to me is at least in a season where Alpine is, I favor Alpine more than I favor McLaren. And I favor Alpine more than I favor Aston Martin. And that's saying something. And it ain't saying a lot for either one of those teams that I would expect it would have been doing better. But does Aston Martin want to continuously have their name out in Formula One, the most elite driving sport in the world, in my opinion, out there doing this? Like, I mean, what does that say? What does that say about you? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I don't think Aston Martin is around come 2026. I don't. If they are, I'm wrong. And it's just an opinion. It's not a fact. But I don't think they are. I don't think it is for a couple of reasons. One, they're not performing well. How much money will they lose or not gain because of that? Two, does the brand Aston Martin want to continuously attach their name to failure in these eyes? Because Aston Martin, they cannot continuously be in the bottom fucking 10 and think that that's successful. Not for that name. Like any other name, probably so. Like any other name aside from Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. So let me know what you think. Do you think Aston Martin is around to 2026? Do you think they will improve this season, let alone the next season? Let me know what you think about that. Do you think the drivers are killing it, or is it actually the engineers, the team principals, the organization as a whole not giving the drivers what they need to be successful? I would think a four-time champion in Seb, which I call him for short Seb, many of you do. I think Sebastian would be pretty fitted to get. I mean, if Kevin Magnussen can get into a Haas, which is a shit team, which we've all think we've come to that, but they've been doing a lot. I would favor a Haas right now over Aston Martin. What the hell does that say? I would think that if Kevin Magnussen and a Haas could do well, that Sebastian Vettel, four-time champion, back-to-back quadrupled up, youngest champion in Formula One, I believe, would be able to get into an Aston Martin and perform top 5, top 6, no less level. And it's not happening. It's not happening. And we haven't really, it's just not happening. So let me know what you think. I'm disappointed. I thought Aston Martin was going to be there and they're not. So we'll see what happens later on in the season. We'll see what happens going into next season. There's a lot of practice things are changing. Testing things will change. Regulations will change. The cap seems like it's going to change for a little bump. I don't know what that all will do for them, but we'll see. All right, just build it. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.